Welcome. My name is Nikki Jordan, and I'm an assistant principal at Winter Haven High School over the Cambridge program. I have Terry Reinecke, the Cambridge coordinator, with me as well, and we're going to both speak to you about the Cambridge program and what the benefits are for your students, as well as answer some questions that we hope that you may have. Please bear with us. This is the first time that we are having to do these meetings from a distant style like this, and so we're going to do our best to give you the information that you need to make a decision. So we wanted to start off by showing you where some of our 2019 college acceptance was for our students. We don't have a total 2020 picture quite yet because of the COVID departure where our students left campus in March. So this is a full list of where the 2019 Cambridge graduates attended and got accepted into college. Currently, we've had some of our students that are already receiving acceptance letters for the 2021 graduating class. Not all schools have their deadlines for application yet, so we know we're going to be getting a lot more of those, but currently the 2021 seniors have already been accepted into schools such as Emory-Riddle, UCF, and West Point. So what is ACE? ACE and Cambridge are used interchangeably. So when you hear somebody talking about the Cambridge program or talking about their ACE classes, that's really the same thing. A lot of the colleges will also refer to this as the GCE A levels because that's what they call it in other parts of the world. So this program is an international curriculum that was developed by the University of Cambridge in England, and it is done worldwide, and it's done in over 160 countries. It is very heavily writing based, so it teaches our students how to not only study, not only how to develop their learning styles, but it also teaches them how to write, which is so important. So why ACE? Why the Cambridge program? It not only is preparing your student for the next level with the rigor that they're going to need to be successful in college, but they can also get college credits by exam. So many parents are familiar with AP courses. That's what they had when they were in school. That's what we had when I was in school. And that is where you take a class, and at the end of the class, you take the exam, and if you pass the exam, you get the college credit. That is the same way for Cambridge. Students can get up to 45 hours of college credit with their Cambridge classes. There's been a lot of studies done about the Cambridge program, and one of those was done at the University of Florida, and it found that it took a group of seniors that had graduated from high school Cambridge programs, and it tracked them through their first year at the University of Florida, and then they compared the GPA of those students to students that were in other advanced curriculum programs. And the Cambridge students had a GPA of a 3.46 after their freshman year at the University of Florida, as compared to a 3.1 and a 3.12 from other various programs. So that's very good. They were very impressed with that. Colleges say that the #1 predictor of how a student is going to do in college is the rigor of their high school coursework. So they really want to see our kids pushing themselves and working hard. The ACE diploma, which we will talk about as we get further on, is something that all of our kids strive for. And if they get the ACE diploma plus 100 hours of community service, they automatically qualify for Florida Academic Scholars, which currently is 100% of public and state tuition. So they would get that without having to have that 1330 SAT score that it's been raised to.
So a lot of parents and students ask us the difference between the ACE program, IB, and AP. Currently, we're the only high school in the county with the ACE program. There are numerous high schools in the state and the United States that have the ACE program. If you look at the chart, you can see that all three programs have been around for a long time. ACE or Cambridge has been in existence since 1863. They all offer college credit for passing exams. ACE and IB offer the opportunity to earn Florida Bright Futures, which is a $25,000 scholarship currently. That's the value. You can see at the bottom of the ACE and IB columns the differences. With Cambridge, we actually offer quite a few college level electives that students can take, like ACE Art, ACE Media. Also, students can concentrate on areas of strength if they want to. So, for instance, some students will take college level, ACE level math classes. Some students will choose not to take those and concentrate their ACE classes in other places. So there's a lots of flexibility. ACE college level courses start in 9th grade. So our 9th graders can take 2, sometimes 3 college level courses, depending on their math level. Cambridge learners have certain attributes, and this is representative of the program globally. They work in making learners very confident with taking in information, looking for information, and listening to new ideas and those of others. They do want to create a responsible learner who is respectful to other ideas. They also want to create learners that are reflective about their own learning process. If they don't do well on something, they want that learner to then figure out what they did wrong and how they can correct that next time. The students are innovative and they're ready for future challenges. We get that feedback from our college students that right in their freshman year, they're expected to present in front of their classmates, to participate in debates, and they've done that in our classes. They are expected to engage intellectually and socially. So there is a lot of interaction in Cambridge. It is not just sitting and reading a book at night. It's a lot of information in the class and coming to conclusions together. So Cambridge students will become independent learners.
Last year, towards the beginning of the year, we got this email from a parent, and we asked the parent if they mind if we shared it with the incoming 8th graders, and they told us to please do. We did change the name. The student's name is not Sally, but you can read for yourself if you would like to. I'm just going to give you some of the highlights. If you want to pause your screen and read it for yourself, you can. This child, the daughter, is a pre-med science student, and she was taking her first major college exam for her science class. And she felt confident in that because of the work that she had done in her Cambridge science courses throughout the years. The mom was hoping for a B on the test, but her daughter called her ecstatic that she actually got 100% on that first test, and they wanted to share that with us, and they were so excited about that. In a follow-up email, when I had asked her if they minded if we shared that with you guys, she said, absolutely, please do. And one of the things that she wanted to reiterate was that the student's roommate asked and did not do well on this exam, and asked her daughter, how was she so good at knowing how to study in this college stuff already? And her daughter's response was, I guess Cambridge prepares us more than we know. So that's a lot of what it's about for our students, is they are learning so much that in a way that they don't even necessarily always realize how much they're learning. And that's what's important, is we want them to be able to be successful at that next level. And that's what we're seeing with our students. So what is the ACE diploma? The ACE diploma, and this will sound a little confusing at first. After students get it and understand what it is, it's not. But I'm going to try to go slow and be as thorough as I can here. So students, to get the Cambridge diploma, they're still getting a high school diploma at the same time. That high school diploma is first and foremost the most important thing. All of the Cambridge classes count for their high school graduation. So you don't have to worry that they're not going to graduate from high school because they're taking the Cambridge class. We make sure of that first. So to get that ACE diploma, which is different than a high school diploma, the ACE diploma, they have to have a total of 7 credits. They have to have 1 from each of 4 subgroups, and then 3 of those credits can come from whichever classes they so choose. So the subgroups, they have to have 1 class and test passed in a math or a science. Okay, they don't have to have math and science. They can have math and science, but they don't have to have both. Okay, the second group is the languages, and that one is English Language AS, which all of our students will take as sophomores. The third group is Arts and Humanities, and this sounds like a difficult group, but it's not. It actually encompasses everything from English literature to media studies to drama to digital media and design. There are many classes. To the history classes are all in there. So there's a lot of classes that can check that box. And then the fourth group that they have to have is a class called Global Perspectives. Other than that, their credits can come from whichever of the classes they want. So here are just some ideas of some pre-ACE classes that they can take. Now, pre-ACE classes are like an honors weighting. These classes get them ready for that AS level, which starts that first ACE level that counts for the diploma. But these courses do not have a Cambridge exam associated with them at the end of the year. So these classes are not the college credit courses. These are the precursors to those. So these are the actual classes listed that count for college credit if they pass the exam at the end. And these are also, we have them under.
These classes are also worth 5.0 in the students' GPAs. So we end up with some very high GPAs from our students in the 4.7, 4.8 range. Also, as you're looking at all of these classes and you see so many options, please know that Mrs. Jordan and myself, Mrs. Reinecke, work very closely with each student individually to schedule their classes for them and with them. So we do not expect you guys to understand this completely. We make sure that those students are working towards their strength and are making good decisions in which classes to take. We do that every year, and more often than that if a student is struggling with a certain topic. When it comes to college credit, it is currently state of Florida law that students are guaranteed credit at Florida public universities for past exams in advanced placement, Cambridge, and IB. You can see that the scores needed for Cambridge credit are A, B, C, D, or E. They grade very differently. I've seen some estimates that an E is worth an American C. So those would earn them credit at Florida universities. Once students decide where they go, they'll look closer at that and see which exact classes they're getting credit for at the individual university.
So this is to show you an example of our exam schedules. So we tell students and parents that it is imperative that they don't make summer plans until they get the Cambridge test schedule. Normally those come out by October 31st of each year. So you do know early enough to make those summer plans. But if you notice on here, the last exam is June 14th. So if school gets out June 3rd, students are still expected to come back to campus to take these tests. It's not an option. That's something that they have to do to be a part of the program. Do all students take all of these exams? Absolutely not. Does any student take all of these exams in 1 year? Absolutely not. So it just depends on what courses they're in as far as which exams they're taking. But please note, for example, like the blue histories that stand out. You see two of them. So one says May 3rd for an hour, and then one says May 8th for an hour and 30 minutes. So this is for the same class, but what Cambridge does is they separate out the testing, and our students seem to really like it because they know what to expect, what is coming on the exam. Cambridge is very forthcoming. There are tons of past, they call them papers, tons of past papers that students can see that'll show them exactly what the exam is supposed to look like, what questions are going to be asked. There are no surprises. They will know exactly what is going to be expected of them.
So questions parents often ask us, you'll see this on this slide, These are of little concern in the Cambridge program. Attendance. We do hold our students to a strict attendance policy. They can make up the first 3 days per semester. After that, they need a doctor's note. I will tell you that students who are not successful in our program usually have poor attendance. So take that into account when you're making a decision. Attendance really is important to be successful in really any college prep program. If students earn 2 C's or a D and F on any report card, they are put on academic contract to bring those grades up. We do not do grade forgiveness packets for these collegiate level courses. Discipline, we generally do not have discipline issues. If it were to get to that point, we reserve the right to move a student from a class so they don't distract other students. Academic integrity is of the utmost importance, and we do have an honor code that we sign with accepted students. If students are dismissed from the program, they will return to their zoned school if they are out of zone.
So as freshmen, everybody always kind of wants to know what their schedule would look like. There is flexibility. The freshman year is probably the least flexible, only because there are certain classes that you have to take, regardless of if you're in the Cambridge program or traditional high school. Everybody has to take math every year. So depending on what math you're in, whether you will be in Algebra 1 honors next year or PreAce Math 2, which is the same thing as Geometry honors, or PreAce Math 3, which is the same thing as Algebra 2 honors. So you'll have a math class. Then every freshman has to take biology. So the Cambridge students take PreAce Biology. Every student has to be in a history class. So the Cambridge students take ACE European History. Now that is a college level class, and it will have the exam at the end of the year. The general papers, that is your English class. It is called English General Papers. So every Cambridge freshman has to take that as well. There is a test at the end of the year, and you get college credit and ACE diploma credit for that. The other 3 classes, because we have 7 periods at Winter Haven High School, so the other 3 classes can be anything that you want. You are able to take anything from, if you're a football player and you take weightlifting, that is fine, to if you are in band, to robotics, to if you want to do some of the Cambridge electives, which most of our students do select some of those. There's PreAce Media Studies, which is our ITV class. There's PreAce Drama. We have aerospace. We have medical. There's all kinds of stuff in there for you. Also, one thing that Ms. Reinicke and I, when we're doing the schedules with you guys, that we really want you to take, and we kind of push on you your freshman year, is you need to finish up that Spanish or start that Spanish if you haven't, or other foreign language. We have PreAce Spanish 2, PreAce Spanish 3, AS Spanish. Remember, to get into a university in the state of Florida, you have to have at least 2 years of a foreign language, but sometimes they want more. So we just like you guys to have that in the back of your head.
It's important to know that students who are accepted into Cambridge and choose to come to Winter Haven High School are part of our student body. We are not separate from the rest of the student body. Our students change classes with the rest of the student body. We eat lunch with the rest of the student body. We are in electives, band, chorus with the rest of the student body. The only classes that would be without students that aren't in Cambridge are the PreAce, AS, and A-level. So students are really a part of the campus, and they really are leaders in our campus. And I think we have some more things to show you about that too. With this first collage that we have, these are all Cambridge students in this slide. You can see that we have students in the Medical Academy, our award-winning BDTV course, our award-winning robotics students, so they've gone to Worlds before, our Cambridge level arts. So not only are our students able to take these classes, but they turn into great leaders in all of these classes. Athletics. Athletics are really big at Winter Haven High School. For the past 2 or 3 years, that the all-county academic athletic award has been in existence. Winter Haven High School has won that award, meaning that we have the highest GPA in all sports on campus. Our Cambridge students are a huge part of that. We have students, the quarterback on the football team is in Cambridge. You can see in the lower picture that we have a student at Yale who is a Cambridge student who's playing football for them. We impact every sport on campus. Traditional high school memories. With some parents, that is something they're really looking for. They want their kids to be involved in homecoming events. They want their students to be involved with everything that you remember from your high school experience. And again, everyone in this photo, except for the gym photo at the bottom and the football at the right left, they all contain Cambridge students. We've had Cambridge homecoming and prom, queen and kings. Cheerleaders many of them are Cambridge. On that football float Cambridge students. In the grad picture, we have a ton of Cambridge students. So they really are able to make those memories even as part of this program.
So one of the big questions we get a lot is transportation provided? And it is. If you are accepted into the program, then transportation is provided for your child. One more thing about transportation is that is not done at the school level, so that we can't tell you like what time you get on the bus or what time you get off the bus before you're accepted. That is something that is done at the district level. So how do you register and how do you sign up to take the test? So you do have to take a test to test in. The website listed here is what you will go to, and you can begin open enrollment now. It closes January 12th at 4 p.m. So, and when you go there, it'll have a section that if you have questions on how to sign up, if you are a private school student, you can click there and it'll explain to you, if you are not in a public or charter school in the district, how you need to go about getting your information to be able to sign up for the exams. So you have to sign up to be able to test. If you go on, there's no walk-in testing allowed. You can test at any of the following locations on the days. So let's say that January 9th works best for you at George Jenkins, but you want to apply for Winter Haven Cambridge. That is totally fine. You can test at George Jenkins and still be applying for Winter Haven Cambridge. You do not have to test at the school that you are wishing to get into that program on.
And your test selection opportunity will come after you have completed the application.
So if you have more questions, you can find them at our Weebly website here that's listed, or you can email or call myself, Nikki Jordan, or Miss Reinecke. And what we are going to do is we are going to take all questions through email and kind of compose a frequently asked questions blurb for you. And we are going to post it on that Weebly site on the 20th. So next Friday, a week from this Friday, we will post it on the 20th.
So if you could get your questions in by email, that would be great. We also invite you to go back and replay or freeze parts of this video if you need that information. And the Cambridge website goes really deep into what some of the subject areas are about and takes you through the diploma as well.
Well, thank you very much for giving us your time and attention, and we appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you all soon.